Bangalore has developed dramatically over the last 2 decades.
Correct.
And if you look at its urban landscape, what are some of the things that you think the city has got right? And some of the things that city has not got right, if you reflect back?
Okay. I think for the most part, we have managed to, through a combination of citizen vigilante efforts and a combination of also public opinion, we've managed to retain the central green spaces and the older architecture of the city in the middle of the city. We have managed to hold on to that. We have not seen much. There has been some erosion on the edges, but a large part of it is the two big parks, the Kaban Park and Lal Bagh, has retained its preeminence in the landscape. We've not been that successful with the lake systems. When I was a kid, there was one lake all over the place. So, but that has gone down dramatically. But now there is a rising awareness that these are part of our ecosystem, and wherever possible, further degradation has stopped. And it's actually starting to show an upward trend in these things coming back. Bangalore doesn't have any great hills, it has ups and downs, but no real elevated high points and so on. Overall, I think there are also social benefits to Bangalore that other cities don't have. One is, there is no real organized crime kind of subculture operating in the city. I mean, there is crime, but it's mostly crimes of passion or petty crime. It's not really any of that. So it's quite a safe city for migrants and people who are new to the city and all that. It's a fairly safe city. So there are other aspects to it which have. This used to be like that when I was much younger also. That hasn't changed in spite of its migrant population. What else? I think what has also not changed is the laid-back attitude of its people. Right? You go to Chennai early morning, 5 o'clock, the city seems to be already had its second coffee and starting to go to work or something. Bangalore at 7:30, there'll be nobody around. Still. So it's still got that one. It's not got what I call a rat racy kind of feeling that other cities give you. It's still a livable place, a lot of greenery, easy to get along. The Kannadiga population is particularly tolerant. It's the only city in India you can speak 5 languages to an auto driver and he will understand you instantly. We are not crazy about language chauvinism or identity. It's very tolerant society. So it's a good place to, and of course it has the best climate in the world. So it's usually between 23 and 27 degrees for 80% of the year. So it has its pluses. I think the biggest minus right now in Bangalore is the mistake we made in planning the mobility options for the city. But again, it's a correctable problem. Things are happening to correct it. I'm not saying, at least we know that now this is the problem. And if you go back to a slightly more Indian way of thinking or an Indic way of thinking how to solve this problem, it probably can be solved.
And things like waste, right? They've taken up some
everything. So in almost all aspects now, I would say that Bangalore has recognized the pains and problems of a growing city in a combination of both government and private individuals who have come together and are interested in the sustenance of this sustainability and resilience of Bangalore. So I think we have a good, we keep going this way, I think we are only going to go upwards.
Yeah, if we can sustain this awareness and the action orientation to fix things, maybe in the next 5 years you will see some.
No, I must also congratulate the political parties of Karnataka, because I do not know whether we are able to do this in other cities which have much more, probably more autocratic forms of leadership. But the Karnataka government, I'm not saying whoever has been there, has always heard you out. Even if you don't agree with their final decision, you're at least given an audience to present your contrarian point of view. And maybe the decision they have taken, they will at least modify to reflect some of these concerns, if not wholeheartedly. And that, I think, is unique to Karnataka's political system.
For stories like this, keep following us.
from Code to Culture, our podcast. Subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media.